I have been lucky enough to live in Kamakura for the past few years, and I have gathered a list of favourite spots that I'd love to share with you. These are places that I revisit often. I have always loved Kamakura for its nature and historical feel, and now I feel I've connected with these features of Kamakura even more since moving here. I would like to take you to some peaceful spots and show you some alternatives to the main attractions. Don't get me wrong, I do recommend going to the most famous spots, like Hachimangu and Hasedera, but I like to go here during the week instead of on a weekend when it's really busy. There really is no shortage of beautiful temples to visit. Each one has their own special features and will make you feel something different. So find the most interesting ones to you. Kamakura is a place filled with history and historical buildings. Many artists and literary figures lived here in the past. The feeling is similar to that of walking around Kyoto, though it is infused with a much more relaxed shonan vibe. Many historical buildings were unfortunately lost in the Great Tokyo-Yokohama earthquake in 1923, but there are still a lot of very old historical places to visit. Kamakura is a great place to search for antiques, and by doing so, you will discover the wealth and culture still present in Kamakura. This is one of my favourite shops to look for antiques. It is located on the road leading to Hasedera, so if you go there, definitely check it out. They have beautiful tea utensils and some very old Chinese, Japanese and Korean ceramics. There is also a huge collection of hanga or woodblock prints and hanging scrolls. Actually, there are quite a few antique shops in Kamakura, and they are all quite spread out, so you could walk the length of Kamakura on an antique hunt. Doing this could fill a weekend. This is another of my favourites. It is jam-packed with beautiful sculptures, art, old ceramics, scrolls, jewellery and rare books, all in a very small space. You can find antiques in other places too. This is Ryukoji Temple Antique Market on the third Sunday of every month. Antique dealers from around Kanagawa come to sell their very different collections. I love coming here to combine learning about antiques and enjoy the beautiful temple grounds. Kamakura has many traditional shops selling specialty produce and handmade items. Actually, all over Japan you can find an abundance of quality handmade products made by artisans and small businesses. This is something I really love about Japan. Kamakura especially has an abundance of traditional shops with a lot of history. If you like ceramics, Utsuwa Shoken displays the work of many contemporary Japanese ceramic artists. This place is great if you are interested in Mingei-style ceramics and products. The shop itself is beautiful. You can also find many shops selling the traditional craft of Kamakurabori, hand-carved and lacquered wood. If you are interested in this, I recommend visiting Manpukuji Temple in Koshigoi, a short ride away from Kamakura on the Enoden line. Kamakurabori is featured on many surfaces, but the designs are not the usual decorative patterns. They depict the story of the samurai warrior Yoshitsune, who took refuge here over 800 years ago. Kamakurabori can even be found on the ceiling, This is something not commonly seen. One of my favourite temples to visit is Engakuji in Kita Kamakura. I find this place extremely healing and peaceful. Personally, I love these unpainted, dark wooden structures more than temples painted in detailed patterns, gold or red. I find the natural wood a lot more calming and beautiful. This building is Shariden, enshrining Buddha's tooth. It is the only building in the whole of Kanagawa designated as a national treasure. It was originally built in 1285. It was destroyed by fire in 1563 and fell in the earthquake in 1923, but was rebuilt in 1929. There is also a traditional tea room here at Butsuni Chiang. It would be a dream to attend a tea ceremony here. As it is, you can sit outside and enjoy some matcha. The gardens are varied in design, with ponds, and are bustling with wildlife. But my favourite garden is nestled into the hill at the back of the complex at Obin. Every time I visit, it makes me feel incredibly relaxed. The sun seems to stream down through the trees here in a certain way. It feels a little wild, but intentionally created at the same time. Even in the middle of winter, there is interest in the garden. These shots were taken in the middle of January. I find myself paying attention to the little details. Religious iconography is everywhere. I don't know about you, but when I look into the faces of these Buddhist sculptures, I feel peace and protection. If you are interested in knowing more about the history of Kamakura, I recommend visiting Kamakura Museum of History and Culture. The museum goes into the history of Kamakura as far back as the Jomon period and talks about many important figures from Kamakura. The building itself is beautiful. Originally built in 2004 by Norman Foster as a private residence for Foster and partners. These glass blocks are made from discarded TV tubes. Its setting is also beautiful, nestled in the hills of Kamakura. I love these rock formations found all around Kamakura. They influence my ceramic art. After all that discovering, you're going to need a good meal, and there is no shortage of excellent restaurants all over Kamakura. I personally am drawn to comforting nooks with homemade food. This one has some great vegetarian options. Many are tucked away in back streets where you might not think to look. I love the eclectic handmade feel of this place. and the way they have used reclaimed materials throughout. This is my favourite place to stop for tea. They have such a variety of kinds, and even have tea on draft, which is extremely refreshing and offers an extra creaminess to the taste. Expect no shortage of tastefully decorated spaces, often offering more than just food, but artworks and local crafts. I love exploring Kamakura, and I'm sure you will too. It's a town surrounded by nature, lush hills, and a long coastline. It offers many beautiful nature walks. Kamakura doesn't have to be about busy touristy places. It is a place where you can also enjoy the little details.